How did the U.S. Marines let this happen? You are only as good as your last up to bat, which Revolutionary War, we kind of won that one, but we're here in 2021 and we're simulating against the Royal Marines and the U.S. Marine Corps, which obviously we love seeing on channels such as General Discharge, Navy SEAL versus Army Ranger, this versus that. We're always seeing people trying to compare forces, but very seldomly do we actually see those forces go head to head. And the viral news is coming out that the Royal Marines have overtaken the U.S. Marine Corps in a training exercise. Before we start this off, we got to ask a few questions here. Devil Dogs, you guys were known as stormtroopers to the Germans during World War II as Devil Dogs, Trufflehuden, whatever that code word German name is, I don't even know. You guys were like the shit. We're seeing a new breed come up, and the British Marines are even cocky in saying it. Look at this clip right here.
9 Palms in the Mojave Desert, California, during which we'll further test, refine and assure the Littoral Response Group South capability. We are more sophisticated, more lethal, special operations capable, and will soon be more deployed than ever before. We're new, we're different, and we're the future.
All right, if that didn't fire you up, that's not all the story here. There's a lot more context, but let's get into it. We're using Insider today. Their headline says, UK Royal Marines dominated US Marines in a desert battle simulation, prompting them to surrender less than halfway through, report says. Do we need to go over our articles once again saying I will never surrender? This is the worst headline. It breaks every code of tradition of our US military, code of ethics, and what we stand by or go by. It says U.S. Marines were driven into submission by their British counterparts during a training exercise held deep in the California desert last week, according to a report in the Britain's Daily Telegraph newspaper. The paper reported the group of Royal Marines employed new tactics that helped them get the better of the American troops who were on home soil. According to the Telegraph, exercise Green Dagger involved the two nations facing off against each other in a competition in which the sides were tasked with taking out one another's assets. The Royal Marines dominated, in quotations, the U.S. in the 5-day simulation. It said with U.S. forces asking for a, quotations, reset less than halfway through. Couple things here. Whoever makes the names for all these exercises, get me on there, because if it's like anything, we got to call something Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, throw some little spice in there from some throwback stuff. But I also want to go into the fact that we just need to get our stuff together, Marine Corps. This whole thing probably didn't succeed based on the fact you guys didn't invite me. You needed Doc there. Doc wasn't there to make sure to get you guys back to the fight, pew, 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 all over again. If you guys are liking this because you're British and you are just wanting to rub this in our face, sure, hit the like button. But if you just like content like this, that's daily uploads, daily updates, please hit that like button to help spread this video, as we're seeing a little bit of decrease in views, but it's okay. I just want to make sure I get the information out to you guys, and this will allow it to be seen by more people. Goes on to say, at one point, the Royal Marines had taken out or disabled almost all the U.S. assets, the Telegraph said. The Royal Navy told Insider that the victory was decisive. In a statement, it said that the mock battle, quotations, concluded with a last-minute enemy assault, which was repelled, leaving Allied forces in control of over 2/3 of the entire battlefield. The Navy said the British commandos, quotations, won decisive battles early on and gained ground from their enemy, but with the U.S. Marines pushing into Allied territory, Royal Marines and their allies carried out raids behind enemy lines to stop further counter. As we see, not an entire blowout, but even the fact we gave them more than 50%, as some articles are saying that the British did obtain 2/3 of the territory over there in 29 Palms, California at the training facility. To say on top of that, we have the Royal Marines official Twitter account out here trying to flex on everybody, and it says, at Royal Marines triumph in part of a multinational team on exercise Green Dagger 21, the 5-day multi-domain warfighting exercise concluded with an epic close quarters final in Mojave Desert. And then it shows all the flags, which include UK, Canada, France, I'm not sure about that one, and then the U.S. Insider does throw some shade over at the Marine Corps and says the U.S. Marine Corps did not immediately respond to the Insider's request for comment. The U.S. and UK are close allies and their militaries train together regularly. Exercise Green Dagger was also designed to test U.S. Marine Corps units before any overseas deployment, according to the Telegraph. For some of you guys that are old cats out there, I've heard this training be called various things. When I first came in it, I commonly heard this as Mojave Viper, as a workup to deploy and actually get you out the door before you went in country. And I heard it sucked, and it was about a month long. I was never actually part of this, but from a lot of people that have done this, they're like, being out in this hot desert of 29 Palms, California can really get to you. They go on to say the exercise conducted over 3,500 square kilometer zone and featured actors playing the role of civilians. The Telegraph said, throughout this deployment, our focus has been on integrating game-changing capabilities from across the commando force to deliver disproportionate effects in the face of a free-thinking peer adversary, Lieutenant Colonel Andy Dow, the commander of the British force, told the Telegraph. The Dutch Marine Corps was also involved in the simulation, the Royal Navy said. I have to kind of be a little bit critical because I have to wonder how applicable this is. Yes, we could fight an adversary that's out there that is going to play dirty, blend in with civilians, be in a modern urban environment, not in a traditional World War II type situation. And it's important to keep those skills up because we've seen that in other stuff as well in the Southeast Asian area previously as well. So it will have a place, I think, in all future wars at some degree or level, which makes it important. But I also want to go into the idea that if we are looking to be with the next peer-to-peer adversary, like I've mentioned before, we're talking about an amphibious assault, meaning from water to land. Is there any way that we could actually simulate this between the two forces? Because I think these repetitions in that sphere would maybe be more beneficial than the modern urban warfare environment that we're seeing here. I hope there's maybe some training on the billet for that. I don't know how you can say someone gained territory or didn't during this. Obviously, they're not actually doing live rounds at each other, but it is good tactics, good practice. And if you guys missed yesterday's video, I did kind of talk about the integration between the US and other countries as well. One of those being the UK, and I did show the ship, which is the British aircraft carrier, where we were landing F-35s on their flight deck, and we're showing a lot more integration build up as we're looking at near peer adversaries coming. And there is always this like lingering doom gloom idea of we should be thinking about World War III and things that could be coming up, especially as we're seeing things kind of unfold in the East and how that's all going as tensions ride with trade wars and etc. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you are a British person, okay, you have your bragging rights that you guys did successfully gain 2/3 of the map. But I'll say this, we're all brothers in the end. We just speak a little bit differently with our tongues and accents and whatever else. Last time I made a video about you guys, which is actually hilarious, I talked about how the Royal Navy was royally pissed off, which made a lot of you guys mad. It's all one love, I promise, guys. But as always, if you guys do like what we do on this channel, you can always support over at patreon.com for special perks and benefits. On top of that, you can also support over at the YouTube join button below this video. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.